Welcome. This presentation relates to the SIT 772 module. My name is Loliwe, and I will be presenting about SQL and non-SQL databases. So the structure of my presentation, I'll start with the introduction, and then I'll explain some few concepts on SQL database and non-SQL database. Then I'll conclude. My introduction is this. I have started experimenting with using Android applications and then trying to storing data in an online JSON storage bins. I've used Android Studio to build some few applications, and then I was using SQLite database. And then I found SQLite to be inflexible, and I couldn't create some of the nested arrays and some storages which are like nested within other items. Then in terms of SQL database, a database is an organized collection of data. Then a database can use a certain model. In this case, I'm going to talk about relational database. A database model, which is relational. Let me just explain the database first. Model is a specification describing how data is to be arranged or to be served in a specified for a specified purpose, or to achieve a specified purpose. And then relational databases are like these are tables which are linked, and these tables will have rows, and then those rows will be records, and those records will have fields, and then those will try to have less duplication if we are having tables. And then some of these they work better, they save spaces, but basically then they will need a database management system, which is DBMS, to be able to post and modify and retrieve data which is sitting in a relational database. Then the language which is used to execute all the queries in the relational database or by the relational DBMS is called SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language. However, using this SQL, even though they are more efficient, to work with structured data, it's not a problem, or in a structured environment. However, the minute you start to store information from different sources or which have different structures, like for example stuff from the internet and some objects like images, then SQL databases and relational database management systems tend to show some weaknesses. They start to have some inconsistencies within them. And as Mier and Kaufman, for their textbook for 2019, that's some of the issues they have raised. There are some weaknesses which they have listed regarding the SQL databases. Then if we move on to non-SQL databases, Da Silva and Lima, in their article for 2023, evaluated the performance of 3 databases, which are relational, Citus, Postgres SQL, and non-SQL databases, which is Cassandra and HBase. They found that both Citus and HBase enables consistency, but there is a trade-off between the performance and the increase in number of replicas that can be made. while Cassandra showed reading and writing latencies were comparable to the results from other work in a high-end and visualized platform. It means that then they were suggesting that Cassandra could be a preferred option if you compare the non-SQL and also SQL databases. And then the other study by Lee and Manoharam for 2013 investigated the performance of some of non-SQL and SQL databases by comparing writing and reading and deletion and instigating some of the let's say language or queries or instructions on several databases they have selected. And then they find that not all the non-SQL databases perform better than the SQL databases. For instance, they argue that the non-SQL database, which is called RavenDB and CouchDB, do not perform well in the reading and writing and deletion operations. Cassandra is slow in reading, but it's reasonably good for writing and deleting operation. So the third part, it was about the CouchDB and MongoDB were the best or the preferred options for fast reading and writing and deletion operations. And meaning that these non-SQL were rated high databases. Then now the non-SQL databases usually, instead of using the relational structure data model, they don't use the relational table. Sometimes some might use hierarchical data modeling design or stack data modeling design or snowflake schemas or data modeling. In addition to the above, non-SQL databases store data according to, instead of using tables, they can use unstructured key values or flexible columns and rows or drafts, or they can use various types of document formats such as JSON or XML documents. Then, as I conclude, my conclusion is this. Ali and others in 2023, they conducted a literature review surveying the unstructured data or big data processing by non-SQL databases architecture. And then they find that in the study that the non-SQL databases are more scalable, and then they provide greater freedom. As I have stated in the beginning, that I was experimenting with Android, and then I find that SQLite was inflexible. But now non-SQL databases, you can see now they provide that flexibility, greater freedom, and then they are scalable. It could be that at a lesser cost, like if you were to do that with SQL databases. And then in my case, the preferred non-SQL database is the Firebase for the Android studios or the mobile apps which I'm planning to work on. Then it's Firebase. Firebase is very fast compared to the relational database management system, and also Firebase provides several facilities such as authentication, real-time communication, the hosting space for your apps and also for your data, and cloud storage, you see. So then I would like to thank you for listening to my presentation. Okay, bye.